morning students. Welcome to online teaching session of Academic World School Bemetara. Now today once again I am here for grade 7 science and we will start with 4th chapter, that is heat. Now when we talk about heat, what does come to our mind? When we touch something hot, we remove our hand. Means it is giving us a sensation. So heat is nothing but it is actually a form of energy which we can feel. Heat is a form of energy which we can feel. It gives us a sensation. At summer, when we are in home, we feel hot but lesser hot compared to when we go out. That means what? Heat it gives us a sensation or a feeling and it varies from place to place or from object to object. Now how is heat measured? Heat is measured and it is having the unit called joule. So heat, its unit is, its SI unit is joule. What is this SI unit? It is International System of Units which is followed all over the world. So what is the unit of heat? The unit of heat is joule. Now based on heat, as if heat, what does it usually do? It flows from hotter body to colder body. And when we measure it, another term comes that is known as temperature. So what is temperature? Temperature means it is degree of hotness or coldness. How much a body is hot or how much a body is cold. When we measure the degree of hotness or coldness, that is called temperature. Now, next is temperature. And its unit is, we measure it either in Celsius or in Fahrenheit or in Kelvin. So when we measure temperature, we measure it in with the unit of Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin, of which this Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. So what is heat? Heat is a form of energy which flows from one body to another and it gives us a sensation. When we measure heat, the unit that we use is joule. It is the SI unit and it is denoted as J. When we measure temperature, followed by heat comes temperature. Means what? Temperature means degree of hotness or coldness. How much hot a body is or how much cold a body is. When we measure temperature, the unit that we use are Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin, of which Kelvin is the SI unit. Now, to measure temperature, we need a device, means we need an instrument to measure the temperature. So which instrument or device do we use? The device that is used to measure temperature is known as thermometer. It is known as thermometer. So the device that is used to measure temperature is thermometer. Now you can already see that I have drawn a picture of thermometer on the board. Now all of you must have seen thermometer. You all do see, you use it when we are having fever to measure the temperature. Now the thermometer, how does it look like? A thermometer is a long, thin glass structure. It is a long, thin glass structure which is having a bulb at the end. It is a long, thin glass structure which is having bulb at one end. Now what is present in that bulb? In that bulb, mercury or alcohol is present. That bulb is filled with mercury or alcohol. Now see this picture. We are having like this, we are having a thin, long glass structure. And in this thin glass long structure, at the end we are having the bulb. So this is our bulb. Bulb is filled with either with mercury or alcohol. Actually, metal, we all know that metals are very good conductor of heat. Metals are very good conductor of heat and it expands on heating. The only metal which is present in liquid form is mercury. So we use mercury as a metal in the bulb so that when we measure the temperature, it can, when the temperature is high, it can expand. So why do we use mercury here? Because mercury is the only liquid metal and we know that metals are very good conductors of heat which expands on heating. So if this is our structure of the diagram, so the first part is bulb. Followed by here, see this is a glass structure which I told this glass structure, here this glass structure, this is known as stem. The body is known as stem. That is the outside part of the thermometer. So first comes bulb which is at one end and this long glass structure is known as stem which is the outside structure. Now inside the bulb we are having mercury. Inside the bulb we are having mercury and stem is the outer part. Next, coming to third, if you notice it very carefully, I would suggest that along with me you keep it drawing in your copy so that you don't forget it. It will be a practice for you also. Here if you see, you will see a bend here. You will see a bend here. It is known as bend. Means a constriction. It is known as a kink, a constriction which stops the path. Now why it stops, I am coming later. First let me tell you about the structure of the thermometer. So first is bulb, second is stem, that is the outer part, third we are having bend. Now why this is bend present? So that it stops the path so that mercury do not return automatically to the bulb. Next you will see a thin glass tube, a thin capillary tube inside. Inside the thermometer, this bend is extended and it is known as very thin capillary tube. It is known as thin capillary tube. Clear? Next, see here in this thermometer we are having divisions. A thermometer is exact like your scale. All of you are having scale at home, scale in the geometry box. Scale, a thermometer is exactly like a scale which is having divisions. So these are our scales with divisions. We have seen heat and we have seen degree of hotness or coldness is temperature. The device that is used to measure temperature is thermometer. And this is the structure of thermometer, where we are having bulb at one end. This bulb is filled with mercury or alcohol. Now why do we prefer mercury? Because mercury is the only liquid metal and we know that metal expands on heating. Next we are having this outer glass structure. This outer glass structure is known as stem, which is known as the outer part. Next we will see that a very thin tube passes through, extends from the bulb and it passes through, that is known as thin capillary tube, through which the mercury can pass through. Here we can see a bend, means a constriction, a path which stops the mercury to return back automatically to the bulb. And we are having scales in between, means it is having divisions which helps us to read the temperature. Just as you measure a line with the help of the scale and you read the length of the line, same way we read the temperature with the help of thermometer. Next, this is the structure of thermometer. Now what are the next one? See, when we will read the types of thermometer. So what are the types of thermometer we will see? What are the types of thermometer? Types of thermometer are first is clinical thermometer. First is clinical thermometer. What do we mean by clinical thermometer? It is also known as doctor's thermometer, which is used at clinic. Means usually we use this clinical thermometer to measure our temperature, to measure our body temperature. The diagram which is on the board, it is the diagram of clinical thermometer having a bend. So what is this clinical thermometer? Clinical thermometer, it is made up of long glass tube structure which is having bulb at one end and the bulb is filled with mercury and it is having this thin capillary tube and it is having divisions. This is the diagram of a clinical thermometer, which is also known as doctor's thermometer. Now, what is the range of this clinical thermometer? The range of this clinical thermometer, it is from 35 degrees Celsius to 43 degrees Celsius. I already mentioned before that unit of temperature is either Celsius or Fahrenheit or Kelvin. So the range of clinical thermometer is 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Sorry, 43 degrees Celsius. This is the range of clinical thermometer. Now, many of you may or may not know how to read thermometer. So the next question that comes to our mind is how to read a thermometer. Just you read the line, you measure the line in the scale. Same way we read the temperature in the thermometer. How? I told you it is having divisions. It is having divisions. Now, how is this divisions looks like? We are having one long line. If you see it in your scale, or if you can take out your scale and you can see, you are having one bigger marks, then you are having few smaller marks, and then again one bigger marks. So, one bigger marks, in between you are having smaller marks, and again you are having exact, you will have a thermometer. Now suppose here it is written 37. So this is my whole 37. Now in between we are having 9 divisions. Each division is my 0.1. Each division is my 0.1. So 0.1, next 0.2, next 0.3, next 0.4, next 0.5, next 0.6. We are increasing. Next 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and then we are having 38. So suppose this is suppose. So, one bigger marks is 37 and another bigger marks is 38. In between two bigger marks, we are having smaller divisions, and each smaller division is 0.1. So suppose my reading comes till here. So what will be my reading? 37 point. My reading comes from 37.1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 37.5 degree Celsius. We will have the temperature of 37.5 degree Celsius. This is how we read the temperature in the thermometer. What are the other points we need to keep in mind? Whenever we are reading a thermometer, we need to hold it firmly and bring it near our eyes. We need to hold it firmly and bring it near our eyes. This is the steps that we need to keep in mind while we are learning how to read the thermometer. That is the steps to read the thermometer, steps to read the temperature in the thermometer. So suppose a person, your friend is having fever. So what will you do? First you will take the thermometer. You will jerk the thermometer very well, but you will hold it firmly so that it do not get tapped on any desk or table and breaks, because it is very fine structure made up of glass. So we will hold it very firmly and we will jerk the thermometer so that the mercury returns back to the bulb. Next, we will wash the thermometer very well. We will clean the thermometer with antiseptic lotion. We will clean the thermometer very well. Then we will put the bulb side inside the patient's body and we will keep it intact without disturbing for a minute. Now we will take out the thermometer and we will read the temperature. But one thing you have to keep in mind, we should never hold the thermometer at its bulb while reading the temperature. Why? Because when I am holding the thermometer, I am having my body temperature. So when I will hold the bulb will give the reading of my body temperature. Then I will not get the exact body temperature of the patient. So I will hold the glass side, that is my stem side, this side. This is my bulb side, I will hold this side of the thermometer. I will hold it firmly, I will bring it near my eyes and I will read the temperature that is given by the thermometer. This is how clinical thermometer works. But as it is made up of glass and it is having mercury present, so we have to be very careful while handling the thermometer. There are some precautions we need to take while handling the thermometer. Like first point, as I told, when we will give the thermometer to the patient, we will first clean it with antiseptic lotion. Why? Or we will clean it thoroughly under water. Why? Because suppose the patient who have used the thermometer before, he or she was having some infections. Now if I do not clean the thermometer well and if I put the same thermometer inside my mouth, then I will get infected with the same infections. To prevent spreading of infection from one person to another, the first thing we need to keep in mind as a precautionary step while handling the thermometer is we have to clean the thermometer very well. Second point is we should be very careful that the thermometer do not break. Why? Because already it is made up of glass. So we have to be careful. And secondly, in the bulb, what is present in the bulb? There mercury is present. Mercury is highly toxic. Mercury is highly toxic. So we should prevent the thermometer getting broken, or when we are putting it in our mouth, we should be careful that we do not chew it or swallow it. What are the other precautionary steps? Other precautionary steps are like we should bring the thermometer near our eye level. As I told, while reading the thermometer, we should bring the thermometer near our eye level so that we do not get the wrong reading. And fourth precautionary step is that while reading the thermometer, we must not hold it at the bulb, because then the thermometer will give the temperature of my body temperature instead of the patient's body temperature. We should hold it at the end of the thermometer firmly so that it gives the exact reading of the patient. These are the points which we need to keep in mind while we are reading clinical thermometer. That the range is from 35 to 43 degrees Celsius. How do we read a clinical thermometer and what are the precautionary steps we should follow while handling the clinical thermometer? Next comes, that is digital thermometer. In today's days, we use another type of thermometer which is known as digital thermometer. Now this digital thermometer is very friendly in nature. We can all use digital thermometer. For digital thermometer, no mercury present, so no toxicity. It is easier to read because when we put it in the mouth, it gives the exact temperature digitalized. It gives the exact digit of the temperature. So we do not need to bring it near our eyes or see it, or we do not have the fear of getting it broken or toxicity of mercury. The only thing we need to keep in mind is as we put it inside the mouth, so before using it we must clean and wash the thermometer. Next type of thermometer that we will read is laboratory thermometer. Laboratory thermometer. I hope all of you are noting it down. So the types of thermometer, the third type is laboratory thermometer. The term itself suggests that this type of thermometer we usually use in the laboratory. Now what is the range of this thermometer? The range of this thermometer is minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. It is having a wide range. Means minus 10 to 110. It's having a wide range. Why? Because in the laboratory we use various chemicals which have various temperatures. So the temperature varies and there is a wide temperature varies from chemicals to chemicals. So this laboratory temperature is having a wide range of reading scales. Wide range of scales. Now, what is used in laboratory thermometer? In laboratory thermometer, mercury or alcohol is used, but mostly alcohol is used because what happens? Alcohol is less costly than mercury. What are the steps we need to keep in mind for laboratory thermometer? While reading the laboratory thermometer, we should never bring it out from the substance that we are measuring. Why? Because in laboratory thermometer, there is very fast, very quick rise or fall of temperature. So as soon as we will bring it out from the substance that we are measuring, there will be huge difference. The temperature will easily fall down or the temperature will rise up. To prevent that, to get the exact temperature, we keep the thermometer inside the substance and we read the temperature. And we keep it vertically straight. But this laboratory thermometer is kept vertically straight and we read this laboratory thermometer. One more point, in laboratory thermometer this bend is absent. As this bend is absent, mercury can very quickly come down or rise up. So the one major difference between clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer is this bend is absent in laboratory thermometer. Laboratory thermometer is very sensitive. The temperature can very quickly rise or fall down. So we do not bring out the laboratory thermometer from the substance that we are measuring. We keep it inside it and we get closer to the substance and we measure the temperature keeping it vertically straight. Another type of thermometer is maximum, minimum thermometer, which usually measures the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature of a day or of a place. Now these are the ones, that is types of thermometer. Next we will see, that is what are the scales of these thermometers. The scales of this thermometer, as I have already mentioned, that the scales for measuring the temperature are either Celsius or Fahrenheit or Kelvin. So next we will see the scales, or we can say it more appropriately, we can say the units that we use. So different scales of temperature. First is Celsius scale. Its range is from 0 degree to 100 degree. 0 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius. What does it mean? The lowest reading is, or the lowest division is 100 degree and the highest division is, lowest division is 0 degree and the highest division is 100 degree. Means the melting point starts from 0 degree and the boiling point starts from 100 degree. So in between these scales there are total 100 divisions. The next type of scale is Fahrenheit scale. Fahrenheit scale. In Fahrenheit scale, the range is from 32 degree F to 212 degree F. What does it mean? 32 is the lowest and 212 is the highest. So boiling point is 32 and melting point is 32 and boiling point is 212. How many divisions are present? Here total 180 divisions are present. Now how can you find out these divisions? If you subtract the lowest division from the highest division, you will get the total number of divisions. 100 minus 0 we get 100, 212 minus 32 we get 180. And the third type of scale is Kelvin scale. Third type of scale is Kelvin scale, of which we will mainly see here Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale. There is a relation between this Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale. What is that relation? All of you please note down the relation. The relation between Celsius and Fahrenheit. It is C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. It is C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. So and numericals in our next lecture. So what have we seen today? We have seen heat, temperature, and to measure temperature we need the device that is thermometer. We have seen different types of thermometer, that is clinical, digital, laboratory and maximum. And we have seen that scales that we use, Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale and Kelvin scale. And the relation between Celsius and Fahrenheit is C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. And we have also seen the structure of the thermometer. Now, with this I end up today's lecture. Assignment related to this topic is already uploaded in the ERP. Kindly do it and show it to me in the school after it.